What is up, guys? Today I'm gonna show you how to tune a Buell the right way. So there's a lot of different maps out there, you know, for whatever exhaust you got. You know, oh, get a drummer or a Jardine here, this won't work. Just pass around like cigarettes, you know. Well, that is not the correct way to tune anything. Again, bass tunes and bench flashes. Send me your ECM, I'll flash a tune on it for you. It's not the correct way to tune it. Don't do that shit. Okay? So today, I'm gonna show you how to tune a Buell, an XB. This goes for the air-cooled motors, not the two. Oh, I guess it's, nah, not the two frames. I don't do two frames. Just the fuel-injected, air-cooled ones. I don't know anything about an XB 1125 or anything. I don't know anything about those. Okay, so I would assume the same applies to them. So first and foremost, make sure your bike is in tip-top running order. You got good plugs, good fuel pressure, good fuel system, no intake leaks, things like that. I don't care if it leaks oil or not, that's on you, but just things that won't skew the actual fuel map on it. So make sure you got things like that. Another thing, you need a wideband. You need a wideband, okay, period. Don't go off the damn AFV. Don't use a stock O2 sensor. It's a single wire pile of shit. Don't use it. It is literally just for minor adjustments. Like, I don't know why, but I will show you guys everything in the tune. It'll overcompensate for stuff. They trust the O2 sensor from the factory way too much. I mean, I'm talking 50% fuel trims plus or minus. It is bad, bad, bad. So get you a wideband. That's what this is right here. So you can get you a wideband like this. I'll leave a link in the description below. You can get one that mounts to the handlebars, like right here. There's all kinds of different things you can do. You can get a regular, you know, circle gauge, but I wanted something hidden. So, but I'll leave a couple links in the description below. I'll leave a link in the description below on the files that I use for Tunerpro. So I use Tunerpro for everything. I don't use ECM Spy. I don't really like the software too much. I'm sure you can figure it out though, but I use Tunerpro, and to flash it I use ECM Droid on an old Android phone that I have. I literally bought it from Best Buy. It's one of them like pay-as-you-go phones, and I never activated it, and I just use it for email only. So, and I just use it for flashing and ECM Droid stuff. So that's all I use it for. You can probably use a tablet too, but I think a phone would be easier to keep you in your pocket right here, just to ride around on the bike, you know, and kind of do some stuff with it. But again, I'm going to show you all that stuff here in a little while. But right now, I'm going to go get me a sausage roll from my favorite donut shop. And then I'm going to jump back, and you're going to see me on the laptop here, and I'm going to show you what's what. Right now this is tuned. I'm already done with it and everything, but again, I'm going to show you the steps and all that stuff of what to go through. I'm going to walk you through the Tunerpro software. I custom made an XDF file with a bunch of tips and tricks in there of what to do. I am not a gatekeeper. I don't just gatekeep information. It's stupid. That's how things die, I think. But anyway, let's go get the sausage roll, and then we'll head back to the laptop. You're probably one thing you're probably asking yourself is like, why in the hell would I want to tune it? But there's already these maps out there, and my bike runs fine. Well, this goes for the guys who want more, or you got low RPM stumbling. I know every single one of you guys have that damn problem, and you're tired of throwing endless parts at it. Or some asshole on the forums just like, oh yeah, just do a TPS reset. Dude, you shouldn't have to TPS reset this damn bike every single time. I've done it a couple of times, you know, just to make damn sure it wasn't that and that there was nothing funky about the bike. No, it doesn't forget. There's no damn, you don't need to do that shit. So stupid. So one thing too is this bike used to pop really bad. on a decel like that, like just you can hear it right there. Sometimes it does it. You're not going to get rid of all of it, but you're going to get rid of a majority of it. I'd say 90% of the time it doesn't do it. So that's better than it doing it like 80% of the time. Like it did it a lot. I mean, I couldn't even downshift it. Like, it was just stupid. It was embarrassing. But like, it's still on the warm start or the cold start thing too, so I ain't really worried about it. But work in progress. So but yeah, I know if you guys blip it really hard, it'll sit there and stumble on you. I'm telling you right now, it's the tune. That factory race ECM tune sucks. It sucks so bad. I will show you the graphs. I don't know who the hell made this shit, but like, it's stupid. It is so stupid. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you learned something from this video, and I'm about to show you some stuff, so stay tuned. In depth with this stuff, so grab a drink and some popcorn or whatever you want, and then just follow along. Get your laptop out, you can follow along. All the links in the description below are for these files, so I'll leave a link in the description below for my Google Drive for this XDF file right here. Just check for updates if you got like a newer one or whatever. I'm literally working on the XDF files right now. It actually takes a long time to do this stuff, so just bear with me. Right now I have an 04 what is it, the BUEGB file, and then I have the Euro spec, I believe, 05 through 07 race CCM. So a lot of it's the same, but like there's actually minor differences in it, and then it doesn't convert to bin file correctly if you actually try to use this XDF file and say like an 05. So just bear with me, and I'll explain all that stuff. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to explain a couple things with the Buells, for instance, okay? A lot of tuners will be like, hey, just go off of your AFV settings, okay? Just tune around that. Okay, look, this O2 sensor, it's a single wire pile of shit. Don't trust it. It's junk. Don't trust it. You can't tune wide open throttle with this thing, okay? It goes into open loop, which means it ignores the O2 sensor. Can't do that. And then if you have open loop learning on, like it's trying to learn that too, it's a mess. Don't trust it, all right? Yeah, you can turn the O2 sensor back on, but I'm gonna explain a couple of things as I go along here, so just follow along. You need a wideband to tune this thing, period. You need a wideband, all right? There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. Spend $200, get you a wideband. Mount it on your bike. You can do it temporarily if you want to. You can just use your factory O2 bung that's in the rear. You can do that one, or you can do like I did and just put it in the front right there for a permanent mount if you want. But do not do this off of the stock O2 sensor. You're not going to have a good time. Now, data logging software. My data logging software is my brain. Yes, that's why I have 60 revisions in this thing. It was literally me riding around with my backpack, my Android phone, and my laptop with a hotspot on my other phone, and literally dialing stuff in, looking at the Android phone, seeing what load and RPM I'm at and TPS, and seeing what adjustments I need to make. And then as I'm doing that, I'm looking at the wideband too. So yes, a little dangerous, but it drastically improved the way this bike rides. So again, wideband, open loop. Do it like that, and then you can turn your O2 sensor back on. Now, if you get my custom XDF file here, which is free, I'm not charging anybody for this stuff. I'm not making any money on this. I tune cars for a living. I don't tune bikes, but I'm using the same concept as tuning a car to this bike right here, and it worked. So it's just an internal combustion engine. So it's kind of like the same shit. So all the ones with the asterisk are major ones that are kind of needed to change. Like this one isn't really, but if you hover over it, there's an information window that pops up. You can read it, and it's literally it's information on how to tune this damn thing. So you hover over it, and it's like, hey, this is what this is right here. Do this right here. I recommend doing this.
But I'm gonna go through the open loop steps right now. So there's a couple of things you need to do to put this thing in open loop. Otherwise, it's going to try to keep on looking for the O2 sensor. So O2 sensor minimum RPM. You want to max this out to 8,000, or you can go 10,000. It don't matter. Just some RPM that the engine's never going to reach. So I chose 8,000 RPM. Closed loop settings. You got your AFV decrease factor. Put it at 100. This one, put it at 100 as well. I also have the stock settings right there in the info list. So if you accidentally save it and you're like, oh shit, what was that setting again? Hey, look at that. You just hover right over it and there's your setting. So this one, it'll go 50%. It'll adjust it to 50%. So talking in AFR, that's going from a 14.7 to a 750 AFR. I mean, that's a lot. 750 AFR, the engine's not running. So if it's actually compensating that much, you have a serious issue. So we're going to make it compensate nothing, so which means 100. So 100 is your middle ground, if you're wondering why the 100 is that way. This one, it goes 40%, so that'd be 40% lean. But it'll add up to 50% fuel if it sees fit, and yeah, that's not good. AFE, make sure you have this one. This is that one that everybody says the reset right here. So when you go to read your file, you'll see it at like, say 107 or 93 or something. That's how much overall it's compensating, like on an average. And now that's not the whole map. I know people actually, when they quote unquote tune these things, they'll be like, hey, what was your AFE? And they'll literally go off of that and be like, I'm just going to add 7% across the board and say, screw it. That's not how you do this. Okay, don't do that. All right, that's how you get these messed up fuel maps right here, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Closed loop minimum RPM, max that out. This one was at 600 RPM from the factory. Oh, this is this is the final file right here. So it says 13, but I've literally been through like 60 of them. Set it at like 8,000 RPM, something that the engine's never going to reach, so it won't go there. EGO correction, that's going to be another fuel correction factor. Just again, just 100 it. It'll be fine right there. This one I got barely some info on it, but it's just for no correction for open loop stuff right here. Go to the open loop settings right here. Disable this open loop learning, and I believe that was it. So, oh, and then go to your error checking too. Where we got error checking, and then disable the rear O2 codes right here, so it's not going to throw anything. Mine did, and that's why I put these little notes in here to disable them. It actually threw a code for it even when I just disabled all that stuff right there, so I don't know why I did it, but whatever. Anyway, go for a spin. Hook it up to the your wideband, hook it up to your Android phone, and then open up ECM Droid, and then just literally drive around for a little bit in a like a parking lot or something. Kind of dial it in, like work on your idle and stuff first. Work on your, just kind of tip it in and all that stuff. Just be careful. They make phone mounts too for bikes, so you can literally kind of look at it and kind of log it like right there in that open parking lot, and then just kind of mess with it. You don't need to be on the highway or anything, and then just kind of mess with it. It's not, you're not gonna kill anything. You're gonna aim for a 14.1 to 14.7 AFR at riding. We're on motorcycles here. Riding and idle. And then wide open throttle, we're going to shoot for like a 12.8 to a 13.20 air fuel. These actually like to be able to run a little bit leaner. I've seen guys run these things 13.40 air fuels. I don't have any dyno numbers to back that up. I can tell you right now, seat of the pants, I don't feel a difference between 13.40 and 13.0. So around there, you're not going to, maybe a horsepower, like it's splitting hairs, dude. So you're going to be looking at that stuff, try to remember what load you're at, try to remember what TPS you're at. Make sure, another thing too with this stuff is like, don't be afraid when you first start this thing up. Look, you have a startup enrichment. This is how much it's going to enrich it, okay? So at temperature, it's going to enrich at 120% for 5 seconds right here. So when you first start the bike, it's going to have an enrichment of 20 seconds, 15. I don't know why this is like this, but whatever, I just left it. And it didn't seem like it affected the bike. So remember, when you first start it, don't just freak out and be like, oh, damn, I went completely backwards. Look, just let it warm up for a little bit. Give it at least a minute. And then, get it up to temperature and stuff. And then you start going off of your temperature. Like your warmed up stuff. So here's a warm up enrichment. So it's already warmed up. I'm sorry. It's the fill correction factor, like how warm the engine is. So at 180 degrees Celsius, it's at 100%. So that would be no correction at all. This right here, it's going to be leaning it up. Right here, I don't think I changed it, but I would probably just change this to 100 just for peace of mind. So, I mean, 3% ain't a lot, so I just leave it alone. Anyway, acceleration enrichment, I turned this down. This was ridiculously high, and I even noted that. It is way too spicy from the factory. Think of this as an acceleration pump on a carburetor, all right? Down, or up here in the upper RPM range, I didn't touch it. But down here, cruising around and stuff, it was way too much. Way too much. It's kind of like they use this as a Band-Aid for their shitty map that they had right here. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. It was bad. Like, I don't know if they were thinking it was lean or something or what. But, I mean, I literally took out a ton of fuel right here. I mean, you can tell. That's how much fuel I took out. I mean, that's like hitting the throttle really hard right here. And it's... Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were chasing their tails but I mean, I literally took out that much right there. I mean, that's a lot of fuel I took out just on tip-in. And I'm telling you right now, it's not lean. I'll go show you here in a little bit. Front cylinder correction. I don't fully understand which cylinder is the leanest. I'm going to be honest with you. In my experience and just physics and tuning and stuff, the rear cylinder is covered by your seat and the whole other front cylinder, and it's probably the hottest. So I would run that one a little richer. And I don't know why this is like this. I left it alone just because I don't really know. I need to put the wideband on my rear cylinder and check it. But again, that cylinder may want a little hotter or leaner burn. I have no clue. And I'm literally trying to search and scour the internet for this information, and it goes both ways. I've asked Sportster Dragster buddies, and they're like, hey, that rear cylinder is actually the leanest. Don't trust that damn site, or don't trust that, and just run it a little richer than your front cylinder, blah, blah, blah. And again, I trust these guys. They literally beat the ever-living shit out of these Evo motors, and they don't have any issues. So that's what I did with it, and I left this alone. Again, that much ain't going to make a difference. 2%, 1%, that's not going to really affect a lot of it. It'll make it a little richer, but you're not going to notice it or like too much. So again, I left that alone. Wide open throttle enrichment, I left this alone too, so it's going to be 110%, so it'll be like a 10% enrichment factor when you go wide open throttle. That's 10% on top of your fuel nap here. So this is your wide open throttle fuel right here, this 175, 255 range right here. That's going to be the load, and then that's going to be your wide open throttle area that we're going to be tuning on. Again, this is just, think of this, if you're used to tuning cars, this is power enrichment. Don't worry about that. Leave it alone. Now, there is no AFR target in this ECM. It targets voltage. So on, where was it, O2 settings, if you go down here to the target voltage, I left a little note right here. So your 1488 is going to be 14.7, or I'm sorry, your 0.488 is going to be your 14.7 AFR, and then if you add a little bit of E10 to it, it's going to be 14.1, which is 90% of gasoline around here. You got like 91, 93 octane. It's going to have a little ethanol in it. So that'd be like a 0.439. I'm literally just doing this on percentage, and it should target that AFR. If you were literally just wanting to change this and try it, you can. Again, I would check it with a wideband. I would not trust that damn O2 sensor, just being honest with you. So again, there's no AFR target in this thing. It literally uses that O2 sensor to just try to self-tune itself or whatever it is. Stupid. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and look at this fuel map here now. I covered a lot of this stuff right here. Again, I changed this light one too right here. I lowered it a little bit. It kind of seemed to help a little bit, but you can kind of play with that too. I would literally, again, I would just go bring your backpack and a laptop and then just literally drive around and then see what you like. So anyway, every bike's going to be different. I don't care how many setups there are or have been tuned or whatever. Every bike's going to be different. You live in a completely different part of the country. My fuel map is not going to matter to you. It kind of will, but it will. You'll either need to take away or add some. Like, it's going to be different. Every engine's going to be different now. These bikes are well over 25 years old now, so or 20 years old. They've been running around the block here. So I'm going to compare. This is the stock fuel map right here. This thing looks like hot garbage. Okay, if you know anything about tuning, you'll just look at this map and go, "Holy shit, this is terrible." Like right here. Not these 2 points, but like right here, pay attention to that point right there. So you kind of like 3D map this thing. This thing should be smooth. It should be fairly smooth like this. This is pretty smooth right here. This is like idling and driving and riding. This is kind of like light throttle, and then like just cruising around town right here. This is terrible. This should not look like this. And then this shit right here, this is going rich, then lean, and then rich. That's what wide open throttle. So if you see something like this, oh my God, change it. Make it smooth. This is terrible. And then the rear cylinder was even worse. Now I'm going to show you how to adjust both of these things. So we're going to look at the rear cylinder here. Look at that spike. Like, what the hell? This is terrible. Now this looks better. This is terrible. Yeah. This is why I said the race ECM is junk. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I'm telling you. So let's have a gander at what I changed. So I'm having a percentage right here. This is my comparison file. That's how much I changed over here. And then let's look at the absolute, and then look at my map. That's how much I took out. And again, I confirmed this with a wideband. I have been tuning this with a wideband. Up here is easy to. This is easy to tune. Any dipshit can do wide open auto tuning. Down here, this is where the money is right here. You know, this is where you're gonna be driving around, and again, 95% of the time you're gonna be right around in this area right here. Right here, highway driving, light throttle right here, but right here, bottom throttle, gets like that. But idle, right off idle, and then just kind of cruising around town right here. And then light throttle again. This is all light throttle down here. And then this is RPM right here versus load. And then that's it. Now, if you don't know anything about tuning, this number is kind of irrelevant. It's just a number, okay? But think of this as in percentages. We're going to adjust in percentages. This is how I tune stuff. I adjust in percentages. So, say I've got a rich spot, okay? And the rich spot, I mean, it's like a 1250 air fuel. I'm trying to get it to where it is closer to 14s, okay? So what I'm going to do is bust out my calculator, and I already know this answer right offhand. I mean, it's going to be around 8 to 10% fuel, but bust out your calculator, type in 12.5 AFR, okay? And then say you're right around here, okay? And so we'll just use this other map right here. So say you're looking at your phone and it's at 20% load and you're at like 2400, 1900 RPM. I literally had a lot of issues right here. So I would take this whole thing right here and say we're at 1250 air fuel right there. I want a 12.5 plus 10%. So that's going to be 13.7 air fuel. So we're not overshooting our target. We're creeping up on it. You want to creep up on this stuff. You don't want to overshoot it because you're literally going to shoot yourself in the foot. You're going to be like, damn it, now it's too lean. Creep up on it, okay? I literally had a lot of trouble with this, and it was due cost to this and that damn acceleration enrichment right here, and I didn't find out until later. So you're probably wondering, why the hell does he have like 60 revisions of that? Well, that's probably the answer right there. It's this shit right here. Yeah, it was a lot. It was just like I was overshooting it, and I was like, why in the hell is it doing this? So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to just like, I mean, again, I can show you my map, and it's not going to matter to you. You can copy all these numbers down. You can screenshot this all you want. It's not going to matter to you. It'll get you in the ballpark, but it's still going to be off. Like on your bike, it's going to be off. You're going to need to mess with it. You're going to need a wideband and stuff. So that was that. Timing was another big thing too, as far as that popping through the intake. As you can see, again, it follows the fuel map too. So down here is going to be idle, low loads. Up here is going to be wide open throttle, high loads. Right here is going to be cruising and stuff. So They don't have bad timing right here. This is okay. And I haven't tried to experiment with anything right here at all. I've literally experimented right here where you're popping the throttle real hard and just trying to get, you know, going here. This is how much I changed. I added a lot of timing right here, and it's not pinging, and it likes it. And it feels a lot lighter on its feet. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, there's the difference right there. That's how much I added. The negative number is actually a positive, so that's how much I added. And you can see up here, I didn't add anything. This is probably just a smooth point. I probably just smoothed this out a little bit. I didn't just add a degree right there just to do it. It doesn't look like terrible except down there. Like, it looks horrendous right here. But again, wide open throttle, it's a quote unquote race map. They don't matter. But down here, it's like they didn't give a shit. Like, this is terrible right here. So let's look at my map. I exited it. And then we're going to look at mine. Oh, wait, that's the absolute. Sorry. It looks like, wow, I look so flat. Let's see here. Mine, boom. A little smoother. Look at that. No dips. Just a little bit of ramp right there. I can probably, if I want to be a stickler, I can just do like this. But that ain't that bad. But just ramping in like that, it's not going to hurt anything. It sure as hell beats this this crap. This is terrible. Like, this add timing right here. So that's what my suggestion is. I even suggest it. No, I don't want to change that. I even suggest it right here. Actually, I don't. I'll add that in the notes, though. The rear and the front cylinders, I literally matched them. Again, I checked the plug. It looked like it was fine. I don't hear any knocking or anything like that, so literally left it alone. Wide open throttle spark reduction. This is a cool one to mess with, too. If you're thinking you're pinging because of the heat, you can actually add a little bit of timing right here, and it'll start taking away timing. This is a global thing right here, so this is just a multiplier pretty much. So I didn't want to do that. 180 degrees Celsius, it's going to start taking them 1 degree away across the board. So it's going to do that. Another thing too, get rid of this advanced spark reduction right here. Actually, I need to move all of these into here, so I'll probably do that. Anyway, some of these, let's see, where's it at? Yeah, like this one, it says zero this shit out, zero it out. I was fighting this too, so this was another contributor to like it running bad. Even though it was deactivated on the flags, it was still pulling timing and doing crazy shit, and I couldn't figure out why. I mean, you can literally feel it. So I zeroed these out, that one, and then the upper RPM boundary right there, just zeroed it out. Every one of them I say, zero this shit out, I'll zero that shit out. Okay, and let's go. Let's go for a ride. We're gonna. I'm gonna get my. I'm gonna get geared up. I'm gonna bring my Android little throwaway phone. You're gonna get to see my wideband, and I'm gonna show you what to look for. So I'm gonna go to an empty parking lot. I know where there's one at, and I'm gonna show you how to dial this thing in.
Now, so that you know that I'm not crazy, you got my this is my wideband gauge. So if you're wondering what the hell it is, it's wideband. So right now, I emailed myself my as found, and then I emailed I emailed my my updated one. So what we're gonna do, download it, open up ECM Droid, connect to it. Yes, I'm using a Buell tooth. I don't care what the hell you think of the guy. I don't care what he did. Oh, guess it would help if the key was on. I don't like the guy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He has garbage ass products. The Buell tooth works though. It seems to work pretty good. So we are connected, ECM ID and all that stuff. So go to this right here, EEPROM editor, click on the dots, load the file, and we're gonna load in my junk one, my as found. We're gonna burn it right there. It's gonna write all 7 pages or 6 pages right there. All right. Runs. We'll see how well it runs though. Now this thing's still warming up. I just pulled out of my driveway. You can see it's getting leaner as it's idling. It's getting leaner. Again, don't pay attention to that wideband until you get warmed up, because it's gonna run really bad once it warms up. And then my sensors do work. All my engine tip, all that stuff, it works properly. So you can check all that stuff with ECM Droid. So Make sure I zip my pocket up right there. Okay. Like right now, it kind of feels like the throttle is on or off. There's like really no in between. It's like you can barely give it. And it's like, oh, it's like jerking real bad. Blinker's on. Just doesn't really feel good. Feels kind of lazy too. But again, it's still in its enrichment stage too, so it's adding fuel right now. But it's, again, as it gets warmer, it's going to get leaner. So let me go ride it for a little bit, and then so we're at 15 miles right now. Let's go ride it for a little bit and see what it does. Now, since the O2 sensor is on, it does have regions on the fuel map to where it's closed loop, and some of them are open loop too. So you're gonna have to look at. I'll try to find a screenshot, and I'll probably post it right here. And show you what the map is. But so since we're using Tunerpro, you're gonna have to flip it, so you'll see. But riding around, you're gonna notice it's in like the 15s and 16s, or I'm sorry, 14s and 15s. So it's gonna be like the 2,000 RPM range. So right now it's compensating, and I know it is. Now right here, I just had it. There it is. It's like bah, bah, da, 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 da. And you can see that AFR jumping the 15s, 16s. It was bad right there. So we're gonna go jump on the highway right here, and we're gonna cruise it for a little bit. And I know you Buell guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So there we go. Idle is like 16s. Terrible. It's not gonna hurt anything, but I mean, it just makes the cylinders hot. I mean, we're really aiming for 14.7, 14.1 air fuel at idle. 15s aren't bad, really. Like, you know, 15.1 every once in a while. It's gonna jump around a little bit, you know, because of the cam overlap and all that. But it shouldn't just be steady 16s and 17s and 18s. Like, that's terrible. Not really good. It's an air-cooled engine to begin with, so it's using majority of the oil and air to cool it. And the fuel is that's if it's running lean, it ain't helping it. That's for damn sure. So lean is gonna run hot. Like I said, wide open throttle wasn't really a big difference, but it was mainly just riding around. Like I said, steady RPM on the highway. Now there is a time limit on learning with this thing, and I completely forgot to mention that. So it'll learn, like when you flash it, like with the O2 sensor on, it's going to learn a little bit, and it's going to start making adjustments. And as you go keep driving it or riding it, like what I was mentioning earlier, is going to get worse and worse, and it's been doing that. So we started off at what, like 15 miles, so we got like 10 miles on it right now. I mean, I guarantee you it'll start running lean and popping, and it gets, like I said, I remember when I did have the O2 sensor on like it is right now, it'd be like, okay man, I think I fixed it, you know. And then you would ride around on it for a little bit, and like a day later you're like, wow, this thing runs like hammered ass. Like, why is it doing this? Let's see if we can get it to pop. There it goes. Every time. Every single time. You can feel it on your thighs. I like his license plate frame. It says, I finished last in my fantasy football league. I don't even like sports, but that's hilarious right there. Come on, go. Okay, I'll go. I'll go. Don't hit me, please. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like monitored acceleration like that, you're not going to notice a really big thing, but it's literally, a lot of it, it's like this little, I mean, like I'm barely giving it a throttle here, and it was pretty bad. What's going on here? It looks like I got my lawnmower stuck in a ditch. Had to lay her down. See, that's what you get, throwing them clippings in the street right there. I'm kidding. If you fall on grass clippings and you're going straight, you don't need to be riding a bike. That's why my license plate says clippings, because it's hilarious. I don't know how well you can see that, but 17s, 18s, idling. Alright, so I got my map burned back in. I'm gonna go over here and double check everything. So we got AFV settings 100, okay, limits, RPM limit. So yep, this is mine right here. I got a 7300 RPM limit, fan temp. Yep, this is mine. And then general config, bank angle sensor. I got deceleration fuel cutoff turned off. All that. Wave high to the cop so you don't do anything with me. So we're gonna go over here to data channels. Okay, I'm gonna make sure you connect this thing with the bike like turned off. Like if it's running, it's not gonna connect. So there we go, buddy. Click that data on. When it says on, it's on. So again, recording the same things. It's not recording, but it's just, you know, just sitting there. So a lot better than our response already. And then let's go see. I'm gonna go put it in gear. So I'm gonna put this phone. I'm not gonna stop recording. So I'm gonna put that phone right there. Put my glovesies on right here. So we got a nice big old empty parking lot right here. He probably thinks I'm doing wheelies or something. I don't do wheelies, dude. I want to eat shit. So this bike's too nice to do that stuff. I don't want to wreck it. I don't want to wreck, period. So okay, put it in gear. Now let's do like a first gear thing. So actually, let's put it in second. A little bit less jerky. Second gear. I'm gonna grab my phone again. So if you look at the load, that's 23. I'm get about a 13.5 air fuel. Little rich, nothing crazy, better than lean. And you can just kind of record the RPM here just with your mind, you know. So about 1500 RPM, 23 on the load. Got a 13.5 air fuel. You could probably lean it up about 3%, creep up on that 14 mark and be good. Let's go a little quicker here. 30 on the load. About a 13.7, 14.0 air fuel. And 1700 RPM. But again, that's how I do this right here. So you can go faster too and just do the same thing, but just be careful. I'm in an empty parking lot here, so just be real careful when you're doing this stuff. So let's get on a little bit more. That's 18 load and 1500 RPM. Oh, I'm sorry, 2500 RPM. 1500, like damn, I think it was singing for 1500. We'll go over here some more. Uh-oh. Ah, I locked the screen. So, I mean, there's like there's only so much you can do like this. Now, there's another thing you can do too. You can data log the wideband if you want. I don't know how to data log on the phone. You can convert it to like some file or whatever, but again, it's literally you're kind of guessing, really. Still, if you're not data logging fuel trims, you're really guessing. And that's why I said you need a wideband, and you need to do what I just did pretty much. You know, you kind of need to see what the load and that is, and you kind of put two together. Actually, 3 and 2, whatever you need, RPM too, and then adjust the fuel map from there. I mean, it's really, that's all it is. Go over there and then do your, you know, fuel map, and then flash it and go try it again. So you just keep that in mind. This is a lot smoother already, shit. So we'll go make a little hit on the highway over here, on the on-ramp, and see what the AFR is at bottom of throttle. Looks like they're working on getting the lawnmower right there. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Get on the highway. Hit it. Put a 13.0 right there. Now, you can't, like, it goes too fast to where you can't just remember exactly what RPM it was at and all that stuff, where you were at bottom throttle. You're like, okay, it was around this. Okay, so if you want to dial it in, say we're gonna make hits at 4 grand. So we're gonna get up to 4 grand here, and I'm gonna show you. We're just gonna hit it bottom throttle, and it's not gonna wheelie on you. It's not gonna do anything crazy. Just remember what you're seeing right here. So cruising along. We're at 14.0, 13.9. It's going to keep that motor nice and cool, not pinging or anything, not too much timing, all that jazz. So we're going to go, let's see, we're going 70 right now. We can downshift it about $4 grand, and we're just going to lay into it. About a 1250, 1290 air fuel, so that's perfect. And that's probably close to peak torque. So you want it a little rich down low. You don't want it just pinging its ass off or running really lean. So, and you can do that throughout the RPM range too. So if you just want to do a $3 grand hit, you can literally just do it from here. I mean, it's gonna lug the motor a little bit, but I mean, we're at $3 grand. But a 12.7, 12.9, so that's fine. Not gonna hurt anything. Well, at least it ain't in the 10s or anything, or the 14s. I mean, that's ridiculous. So as long as you're in that that area, it should be totally fine. Now again, you can do that through the entire RPM range, and we already know that wide open throttle is going to be 175 to, I almost got hit by a rock. It's going to be 175 to 255 on the load range. So just remember what RPM you were at, and then what the AFR was, and then adjust from there according to percentage. That's all you got to do. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, you can put this on a dyno and do it and pay out the ass for it. But I just rather do it on the street like this. I mean, I could probably have this done on the dyno, but I just wanted to do a street tune. Yeah. Oh yeah, this thing runs good now. Nice and smooth. Look at that AFR at idle. 14s in the middle. Hits a 15 every once in a while. That ain't bad. Now, when it's a little richer at idle, it's not going to thump as hard. I'm going to tell you that right now. But who cares? It's running better. And all this bike, I know people say that they're supposed to idle at like 1,000, 1,050. This one idles at 800, 900 RPM, and it's fine. I just like the cam sound, buddy. So, yeah, there's my wideband. It's on the front cylinder right there. Again, you can just take out your stock one under the seat right there. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get to, I guess, but I've never done it, but you can do that. I plan on doing it just to actually double check my work. But I'm pretty sure my theory that the rear cylinder is hotter and I want more fuel back there. Another thing you do is probably get a temperature gun too, and then just kind of check it like after a pull, just check the cylinder temp heads, or the cylinder temps. Another reason too that I'm thinking that it's the way it is too, they have the oxygen sensor on the rear cylinder. They also have the temperature sensor for the engine on the rear cylinder too. So everything goes off the rear cylinder. Another thing I didn't mention too is when you're adjusting that fuel map too, that whole front one, just go in there and then go to offset, select that whole, just copy that whole front one, paste it to the rear, and then go in there and then offset it by 2, and so it makes it that much richer in the back. Now I don't know what that translates over to, but it's working for me. I've been beating the shit out of this bike now for a month, and actually for a while, but for about a month with my tuning on it, and it hasn't hurt it. So I haven't touched the timing except on that lower RPM and kind of higher load stuff to make it kind of not pop or anything. I hope you learned something on this video. There's not a lot of information about like this stuff out there. If you have any questions or anything, seriously feel free to email me, message me, anything like that. You can go to my website, shoot me a message right there. My phone number's on there and all that stuff. I'm not a gatekeeper on any kind of information. I'll tell you what I know, what I don't know. So I hope you learned something. I know I learned something with a bike, that there's not a lot of information that people are willing to give on tuning. It's kind of sad. So it's either that or they don't really know, and I'm thinking they really don't know. So anyway, hope you learned something. Like, subscribe, do that YouTuber stuff, and catch you guys on the next one.